Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today, we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Before we get into the video, consider dropping a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Going for 400k by the end of the year. I don't know if we're going to make it, but if you guys subscribe if you're new, we just might. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so starting this week off, everything was worded really weirdly today when we got the update week information, but I wanted to just clarify a few different things because I know I had some comments on my update week video about like, how is this working? When does this stuff come out? What are you talking about? Basically, December 23rd is going to be the day when we get snow in GTA, when we get the Gooch in GTA, when we get the Yeti hunt. All of the holiday related stuff is actually coming into GTA on the 23rd of December, which to me is way too late. I don't know why Rockstar decided to do it this way. Seems crazy late, like 2 days before Christmas is when we're getting all the Christmas stuff. I don't know, man, but that's what's going on. And so some of that stuff is gonna last for like 5 days, some of it's gonna last for 2 weeks. We're gonna talk about that real quick before we get any further into the video because I know some people are confused about this. All right, so the Yeti hunt, the Gooch, the Weasel Plaza shootout, the E-Cola Happy Holidays hauler, and the rest of the festive modes are going to return from the 23rd of December until the 29th of December. And then they're going away. Crazy to me. I don't know. I feel like people are going to be really busy over that time frame, but I guess, I don't know. Okay, so oddly enough, later when I was filming this video, I ended up actually running into the Weasel Plaza shootout. So I guess it's in the game, and I guess all the other stuff's in the game too. Just snow isn't in the game. I don't know. So confusing, but it's in the game. Now, there's also some gifts available, and those are going to be available from the 23rd to the 7th of January. Those are going to be things like the candy cane, the snowball launcher, firework launcher, stuff like that. Special clothes, snacks, things like that. Doesn't really matter unless that matters to you. All right, and so the weekly challenges are also going to be split up. Now, I'm going to make update weeks as these things get changed, just so you are aware, but we got to go over it right now because again, it's confusing. So the challenge from the 18th of December to the 22nd is going to be to sell $100,000 worth of business stock. If you do that, you're going to get 300 grand. Then from the 23rd to the 29th, you're going to have to win 4 adversary modes. Then from the 30th of December to January 7th, you're going to need to complete the Cluck and Bell farm raid as a leader. That's going to get you another 300 grand. So 900k in total, I believe, at least, unless it's 300k after the fact. But I think it's 300k separately each time. Again, worded really terribly. I don't know. But anyways. But to get started with what's going on this week in GTA, or what's starting this week, this is going through to January 7th, we have a bonus $500,000 available for completing the Cluck and Bell farm raid as a leader, but also as an associate. So basically $1 million up for grabs if you do the Cluck and Bell farm raid twice, essentially. One yourself, one with a friend. So that's going to be a really good way to earn some bonus money. Cluck and Bell farm raid's kind of fun. So give that a shot if you haven't, but even if you have, I mean, another $1 million, why not? Starting us off with double money this week, we have double money and double RP on a bunch of holiday related community events. So that's pretty cool. We also have the featured series this week as Overtime Rumble. That's going to be paying double money and double RP as well. But the best bonus of the week by far, at least in my opinion, is going to be on weed sell missions. Those are going to be on double money and double RP, both in the weed farm, but also the nightclub basement. Similar to last week's bonuses, it's going to be on 2 different things. It's going to be on the product itself, not where you're getting the product from. So weed farm and nightclub basement, weed is going to be double money and double RP. Going to be a great way to earn some money this week, especially coupled with the new mansion production boost as well. So definitely something to keep in mind, definitely something to take advantage of this week. Going to be the best way to make money by far. Starting off with vehicle discounts, we have the Sea Sparrow for $1,270,500. It's going to be 30% off this week. The Sea Sparrow is interesting. It's like a worse version of the regular Sparrow. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit less maneuverable, but it does have the ability to be armed, so that's pretty cool. It does have to be stored in a hangar. That's the other thing to note about the Sparrow. And what is cool about it though is that it can land on the water like this on the pontoons. Pretty neat function. Not really sure when you're going to use it all that often though, to be completely honest. So I don't feel the Sea Sparrow is like particularly worth owning, to be completely honest. I think for 1.3 mil, it's kind of a lot of money. I think the regular Sparrow is better. I think the Buzzard is kind of better. The only exception would be for buying it to literally go and land in the water somewhere, but I'm honestly not sure when you would need to do that. So realistically, probably just avoid buying the Sea Sparrow this week. Now, something I wanted to make mention of is this is not on bonus right now, but you're going to be able to claim a Super Valido carbon for free between December 23rd to the 29th. So it's going to be free to claim. I would advise you all to do that. If you're in need of a helicopter, wait and get the Super Valido for free. You might as well. It's one of the fastest helis in the game. Can seat 4 players. You can drink champagne in the back. And it's the Carbon Edition, which is technically like the higher end model of the Super Valido. So definitely take advantage of that and get it for free after December 23rd, of course. On Benny's, we have the Progen Italy GTB for $832,000. And of course, you can upgrade it into the Benny's wide body version of that car as well. Now, it is a cool car, I won't deny that. However, by today's standards, it's not exactly the best car ever. Now, it's going to cost you $832K, and that's on discount, and it's going to cost you an additional $500,000 for the upgrade into the Italy GTB Custom, so to make it look like this. Now, it is a cool car. It has okay performance for the money. Overall, though, I'd say just based on today's vehicle standards, if you have some better cars, you should probably just not buy this thing, to be honest. It's a cool looking car at the front, and the back is cool, but the middle section is just really weird. The roof shape just doesn't really fit the car very well. Customization wise, and even with the Benny's upgrade on it, to be honest, it's a little bit underwhelming, I would say. It's a good car to a point, and if you've wanted one for a long time and you've been waiting for it to go on discount, then I'm not going to say don't do it, because obviously you've been waiting for it. But for the majority of average people, you're probably going to want to just skip the Italy GTB this week. It's not that great of a car. On Legendary Motorsport, under the two-door section, we have the Pegasi Reaper, 30% off this week, going for $1.1 million roughly. Could have been such an awesome car. It's unfortunate. It has literally one customization option, and that is a spoiler that does not fit the car whatsoever. It's also rear-wheel drive, so the launch off the line is not very great. It doesn't have the most grip ever, and overall, it's not really the best car to drive, to be honest. Another thing that really drives me nuts about it is you can see here on the pillars, there's this little black section there that like breaks up the paint color, and I think it's really dumb. I think it should have either not been there at all, or it should have gone all the way down the pillar. Weird little nitpick, but it does drive me nuts, and I didn't notice that the first time I bought the car, so I figured I should mention it now. It's based off the Lykan Hypersport, which is a cool car in theory, but in real life it's pretty lame, and the Reaper is kind of exactly the same. It looks awesome, but it kind of sucks performance-wise. For 1.1 mil, if it's a car you've wanted for a long time, again, similar to the GTB, definitely buy it while it's 30% off. You might as well if it's like one of your dying wishes to have a Reaper. Definitely get it at least 30% off. You'll be that much less disappointed. But overall, it's a pretty disappointing supercar, and I don't really recommend it, to be completely honest. So I would say to avoid this one for most people. Next up, we have the Enis Deity, which is one of the original Imani Tech capable vehicles in GTA Online, meaning that it has the bullet-resistant windows, it has front-mounted machine guns optional for it, it also has the Imani Tech armor plating, the missile lock-on jammer, and the oil slick proximity mine dropper. So it is kind of stacked as far as that stuff goes. However, even for under $1 million, it's kind of not the greatest car ever, especially when you compare it to the Bravado Buffalo STX, which with like the same discount would be like another 300K, but you're getting a significantly better performing car out of that. However, I will say the Deity is a very luxurious looking vehicle. It's very classy. It has some nice customization, and being that it's got all the original Imani Tech stuff, it's not the worst value for your money if you were to get it with the trade price. Now, if you don't have the trade price, this is going to be more like $1.3 million. And at that point, it's like, should you not just spend the extra 300K and get the STX? You know what I mean? Because the STX is significantly faster. It's got a better launch. It's got a wheelie because it's in the muscle category, and it can hold 4 people, and it's got all the same Imani Tech stuff. You could debate as to which one looks better, maybe, depending on your preference, but the Deity, it could be good. It could be good. What I will say, it's slow off the line. It is rear-wheel drive. If it was just simply all-wheel drive like the Paragon R, which it's kind of primarily based on, it would be an absolutely fantastic car. But it's rear-wheel drive. So launch off the line is going to be a little bit weaker. Top speed's not that great. Handling's not that great. Doesn't take corners super well at speed. Overall, it's kind of a toss-up as to whether or not it's worth it. I guess if you think about it, for under $1 million, getting a first-gen Imani Tech car is kind of a good deal, especially one that looks like this and it's got the performance that this thing has. Under $1 million, not that bad. If you have the trade price unlocked for it, I'd say probably pick it up. But if you don't have the trade price, I'd say probably just save up a little bit more money and get an STX, or just buy an STX if you got it like that. Next up, we're talking about the Insurgent. This is going for $472,000 if you have the trade price. Now, if you don't have the trade price, it's probably going to be more like $700K. And for that price, it's a little bit less worth it, but this is the exact same explosive resistance as the Insurgent Pickup Custom and the Night Shark, meaning it can take 9 RPGs or 27 homing missiles. So it's one of the best armored vehicles in the game. It's also extremely off-road capable, like very good off-road. It's glued to the ground because the center of gravity on it is so low down. It's one of my favorite armored vehicles in the game. I would almost say it is my favorite armored vehicle in the game, more so the Pickup Custom variant, but the Insurgent itself is absolutely awesome too. This is one that I would really recommend if you're in need of something armored, but even if you're not really in need of something armored, this thing is a lot of fun. And if you have the trade price unlocked for it for under 500k, I don't see how you can go wrong. Now if you don't have the trade price and it's more of that $650,000 to $700,000 range, it's a little bit less worth it, but at the end of the day, it still has the same explosive resistance as like the Night Shark, which is another 500k over top of the top price of this thing. So I'd recommend getting an Insurgent for pretty much anybody. I think it's a fantastic car. It will not disappoint you. Moving over to Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have the DeClasse Walton L35 underneath the 2-door category. This thing's got some pretty good customization. It's pretty nice looking and it's fun to drive off-road. I still think that the price for this thing is absolutely egregious, especially when you compare it to things like the Enos Deity. The value of the Enos Deity for $200,000 less than this is insane. Like full Amani tech, front mounted machine guns, bullet resistant glass. The only real argument that you can make is that the Walton is better off-road, and that's true. But for another 200k, it's like kind of crazy to me. However, I will say if you want to go off-roading in free mode, this thing's pretty decent. It could be worse, that's for sure. However, it's not the greatest off-road vehicle of all time, and considering that it's priced nearly the same as the DeClasse Draugr and the Canis Terminus, kind of a lot to ask, to be honest. Now, granted, it is 30% off, but still, I think the fact that this thing is a $1.7 million vehicle and it's 30% off and still 1.2 million is crazy. I honestly don't think I can recommend it. Unless you absolutely love the L35 and like old square body Chevys, I just don't see how this is worth it at all. So I would personally say to avoid the Walton L35 for most of you. Scrolling a little further down, we also have the Karin S95. This thing's HSW capable, has a top speed of about 155 miles per hour, which is not bad, for sure, not bad. It doesn't have the greatest handling ever. It does tend to spin out a lot. The rear doesn't grip up that well. Customization wise, I felt like it was a little bit disappointing. Not the most disappointing car ever, but given that it's based off of a BRZ, I thought that there was just going to be way more in the way of customization, but there just wasn't. Not to say that it's like not customizable, but I just expected a little bit more, I guess. But I guess that's on me to a degree. I think if you can get this thing for $1.4 million, that's not a bad price to pay, honestly. But keep in mind, a lot of you will have this thing for absolutely free, so don't pay for it. That's for sure. It's a cool looking car. I mean, for 1.4, there's no doubt you're getting a certain amount of value out of the performance of the vehicle and the look of it and everything like that. Customization wise, like I said, a little disappointing, but could be worse, that's for sure. I'd say buy a Karin S95 if you're interested in it. It's not something that everybody should be going out and buying this week while it's on sale, but if you're interested in it, yeah, you might as well get one. Unless you have faster cars like the Banshee GTS and stuff like that, there's no need to get an S95 anymore. Now we also have the Anis Remus and the Dinka RT3000. Now something that I wanted to note and make sure you guys are aware of is that the RT3000 is getting drift tuning at some point over the coming months. When it gets drip fed to us, the RT3000 will have that upgrade available. So if you want to get an RT3000 ahead of the game, get it on sale, now is going to be a good time to do so. Do I recommend it? Not overly, but it probably will be one of the better drift cars in the game, just simply based on the fact that it's so small. And the customization is pretty awesome for it. It's a decent enough car to begin with. 900k without drift tuning though is kind of a lot of money still, but I guess if you're going to want drift tuning on it, you're going to want to buy it now while it's on discount. It's probably not going to go more than 30% off in the next 3 months, so I think this is going to be a good time to buy it if you want to put drift tuning on it. Now RT3000 as a car, it's kind of harder for me to recommend it. For 900k, it's kind of a lot of money for what you're getting. Again, Enos Deity is like 70 grand more than this, and think about the value you're getting there, but I will say this thing has a lot more in the way of customization, and it's definitely more of a fun car to drive, whereas the Deity is purely about function almost. So for 900k, if you want to drift tune this thing eventually, definitely pick it up now. If not, you could probably skip the RT3000. However, the Ennis Remus is an awesome car as well, and it currently has drift tuning available for it. It's $180,000 cheaper than the RT3000, so in my opinion there's a lot more value here, and the Remus in my opinion looks cooler, and the customization is almost better on the Remus, I would say. Kind of up for debate there, but the Remus has some great stuff that can be done to it. I love my Remus. I didn't really love my RT3000. I still own my Remus. I don't own an RT3000 anymore. In fact, I think I actually own 2 Remuses. Out of the 2, I'd pick the Remus every single time, and it's got drift tuning right now, so why wait? You know what I mean? If I had to have one, I'd have the Remus for sure. However, if you like the S2000, the Dinka RT3000 might be your pick. Performance-wise, without like drift tuning or anything on either of them, they're probably really similar, I would say, like within a second of each other around a circuit. So not a huge performance difference between the two, to be honest. For most players, I would say you can avoid both of them, but if you had to pick between the two, get the Remus. We also have the Albany Brigham discounted this week for $1,049,000. Crazy amount of money to me to pay for this thing. Not everything's based on performance, I get that, but the Brigham, I just don't see the value in it, to be honest. I personally would say to avoid it for pretty much everybody. You're not going to get anything performance-wise out of this vehicle whatsoever. If you want it as like a cool like garage ornament or something like that, or something to just go cruising in, I guess. It's got some unique stuff like a coffin, I think, that can go in the back. But I would say probably avoid it for most people. Within the casino, we have the Balak and Envisage available to be won on the podium, so definitely come here and try to win this thing. It's a $2.7 million car, so might as well give it a shot. The prize ride this week is the Pfister Comet Safari, and in order to win this thing this week, guys, you're gonna have to place first in an LS Car Meet Series race. Pretty easy challenge. Win trade with one of your friends and get yourself a Comet Safari. It's an absolutely excellent vehicle, guys. You gotta have one for sure. And for the vehicles available within the Car Meet, we have the Declasse Vamos, the Vapid Click, and the 770. Now, something to note is that the Vapid Click is available through the salvage yard for free this week. The Vamos is 600k. I think that's crazy for a car that's as underwhelming as it kind of is in a straight line, and especially for a muscle car, not being able to go straight is kind of crazy, so I don't really recommend it. Vapid Click 909,000, but again, you can get it for free through the salvage yard, so that's how I'd recommend getting it if you want one. And of course the Dubachi 770 for 695,000. One of the best looking cars in this game, man. Really awesome looking car. Unfortunately, not the best performance, not the best customization, but if you want a sweet looking ride, 770 for 695k is not a bad one to pick up. I would recommend that one. Don't buy the Click and don't buy the Vamos though. Not going to want them, honestly. And of course we have the Ubermax Sentinel XS with HSW applied to it here. And this is going to be going for $1,846,000, which is a crazy amount of money considering this thing is not very fast, even with HSW on it. So probably avoid picking up this one as well. The brute force file is going to be your priority file for the week, guys. The shootout at Weasel Plaza is going on right now. I was under the impression this did not get added to the game till next week, but here it is. Interesting. Okay, cool. So that's in the game, I guess. I guess we now know that. So there you have it. We have the new Progen Luiva and Vapid FMJ Mark V available in luxury autos. You can also buy them on the websites. They are available for everybody now, so that is cool as well. This is the gun van location for today. It's here at the power plant. If you're watching this later in the week, though, it will have moved. So just look it up and try to find it. Within the gun van, we have the stun gun service carbine, which is 40% off this week, by the way. We have the combat shotgun, the compact grenade launcher, the vintage pistol, the up and atomizer, which everybody should own, the unholy hellbringer, the railgun, and the L. Strickler rifle as well. We also, for throwables, have grenades available, and we have body armor available as well at a 30% discount. Your RC Bandito time trial today is Construction Site 1. Your Junk Energy time trial today is Sewer System. Your regular time trial is Great Ocean Highway, and your HSW time trial is Textile City to Stab City. So it's going to start right here and it's going to end all the way up here in Sandy Shores right about here. Well, there you have it, guys. That's been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, consider subscribing if you guys are new, and I'm going to have my best ways to make money this week in GTA Online video coming out tomorrow as usual. So stay tuned for that. Until then, take care. Peace.